Hi, and welcome to this week's Wu Wei Wisdom Life Lessons teaching. It's great to be back with you all. This week, we are talking about why we can give in too easily and find it difficult to hold our boundaries with other people. If you are a people pleaser or a conflict avoider, this teaching is absolutely going to be for you. You'll learn what stops you from creating and holding your boundaries with others, and what you can start doing to put yourself first in a way that is authentic and comfortable for you. Okay, David, how common is this kind of giving in or compromising ourselves and our needs?
Yeah, it's really common. And it's something I speak about with my clients a lot. Some people will come with this as an issue, or some people will bring this up as an issue as we start to work together. It's normally based on one of the lies we talk about. You know, the three lies: I'm not good enough, I can't cope, I'm unlovable. It's normally based on I can't cope. And so they will say, I can't cope with this. It's all too much for me. I'm overwhelmed. And so they give in. And so it will always be the inner child part of your mind that's being involved with
So,
this.
this giving in, David, does it mainly affect your clients in terms of their relationships, or does it kind of spread to all aspects of their life? So their working life, with other family relationships.
It's a good question, Alex, because I think it will identify, first of all, in relationship
Hmm.
issues, but I would say it spreads across all parts of their life. So they they won't go for promotions, or they won't put themselves forward, or they'll self-sabotage themselves, and they will not. They find it very difficult to stick up for themselves. That's one of the clients. I can't stick up for myself, and there'll be a client that dislikes they they see everything as a confrontation, or it's going to be an argument, or it's going to end badly. So therefore, I might as well roll over and just say I can't cope with it. You see, the lie comes out. Can't cope with all of this. It's too much for me.
So I can see how that lie, I can't cope, comes into play if we want to avoid conflict. So, I'll just compromise what I really want, what I really need, or my true thoughts because I can't cope with the confrontation, or I can't cope with someone taking my wishes the wrong way. But in addition to that, I can't cope belief, is there another belief going on that I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable?
Exactly. It's one or all three of the lies. So I'm not good enough. I can't cope. Or the one that you were just saying is my worth. Am I worth it? Am I worth standing up for myself? So we call it the three lies. I'm not good enough. I can't cope. I'm unlovable, or I'm not worthy. I put those two as the same thing. I'm unlovable, or I'm not worthy. And so the question that you asked then, am I worth standing up for what I
Yeah.
believe? Am I worth sticking out? Am I worth speaking to somebody and saying, I disagree with you? And then you see they'll circle around all these three lies. So, as I said at the beginning, it'll be one, it's normally I can't cope, but it will be involve the other ones as well. And then we know the inner child is involved. This is the inner child speaking to you. When you hear in your self talk one of those three lies, this is your inner child basically saying, help, help, I'm stuck. I'm stuck with this belief system. And this belief system that I inherited between the ages of 6 years old and 9 years old is not serving me well. This belief system cannot act in this situation, but I'm stuck in the confines of this belief system that I'm not good enough. Here's the evidence. I can't cope with this. I can't cope with the rejection. I can't cope with not being perfect. I have no worth. I can't stand up for my worth because I have no worth. So this is the voice of the inner child. For those of my clients who come to me and say, I don't hear my inner child, this is how you will hear your inner child.
And I think, David, that statement that every time we give in. Every time we choose not to speak our truth, every time we choose not to hold a boundary to someone, we know we're compromising.
We do.
Deep down, we know that.
Can I just say something on that? This is one thing that I always have a disagreement with my clients on. They will say they don't know, and I'm saying you do know. Something inside of you, and that's what I would call Shen, Alex. This is why I just wanted to stop your flow there. There is this inner conflict that when you surrender yourself to this, I'm not good enough, I can't cope, I'm unlovable, I'm unworthy. There's something inside of you that you know that you are giving up on your truth, and that is your Shen, that is your spirituality. And in that moment, this is why this is so important to bring out. In that moment, you are betraying yourself. And you know it. And for those clients who say, no, I don't know it, I don't realize, I'm saying you do. You're used to doing it. You may not be aware so strongly because you've done it for so often, but you do know. And that's where you've got to start this life lesson. Never, never give up on yourself. Never devalue yourself. Never compromise your self-worth, your self-value. Don't look externally for other people to give you what you already have. Inherent true value, somebody else can't give it to you. And that's why when you said that, Alex, I just wanted to stop you, because that is the point. That's the point where you have to be really focused on.
And I think that the statement you made, that every time you do give in and you know it, even though it might be a very subtle feeling, either in that moment or later that day, you're making, I think we need to really bring out to the surface that, and almost say to ourselves, I am making a choice to put this situation, this person over me. Every time I am devaluing my worth. I don't believe I am worth holding my boundaries for. We're making that choice, and I think we need to really expose that, because it's very self-harming.
I can't tell you how important that statement you just made, Alex. I hope people watching this will roll back the tape and just listen to what Alex said. You will justify that in many ways. You will say, oh, well, it's just a habit. Oh, it's ingrained. I can't help it. Oh, I just did it before I realized. You'll then feel sorry for yourself. Oh, you'll blame them. Oh, you don't realize how difficult it is. They're more powerful than me. They're stronger than me. They get things right. I'm just a failure. I'm not perfect. And oh my goodness, and you wallow in that self-pity. Listen to what Alex says. You are giving up on yourself. No one else. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame your partner. Don't blame the job. Here's the life lesson. You are amazing, unique. I don't understand how you can give up on you, that there is no one in the universe like you, and you just throw that worth out the window. For what? For what? He said, when I say stop it, I'm screaming at the top of my voice, stop it for goodness sake. It's time now to stop it. No one can give you this worth and value. You already have it. It's just you that's fallen into this, if you don't mind me saying, this lazy way of thinking that you've had since a child is so familiar. And we've got to stop this. And you've got to reconnect to the life lesson that you are a spiritual being. And spiritual being, in my view, means you have to speak truthfully, honestly, with integrity. You have to believe in yourself. You can't expect somebody else to come wafting in and suddenly inject you with some belief. This is something that you have to create and develop for yourself, and nobody else can do it.
But David, what about when people say, well, yes, I'm a spiritual being, but I'm also a kind and compassionate person. And, it's in my nature to put others before me. It's in my nature to make sure others are okay before I'm okay. It's in my nature to give to others if it doesn't harm me in a great way. And so when,
But there's the point.
yeah,
There's the point. I was just waiting for you to develop that. It does harm you in a
yeah.
certain way. That's the
But
point.
in that moment, it can feel like we are making the authentic decision. Oh, it's not that important. I'll just give of myself to that person. I'll just compromise myself. It's not that important. And they are important to me.
But it is that important. So here's a teaching, and we've done several teachings on this. The Chinese call it Qiang. Qiang, self-nurturing. It's about nurturing yourself so you can be of service to others. If you're giving somebody, if you have a tray and you say, I want to be of service to somebody, make sure you have something on your tray. You have the chi energy has to come through you first and then out. You can't say you're more important than me. I have to serve you before I serve me. This doesn't even make sense. How can you direct the energy to other people, hoping they're going to direct it back to you? That's a manipulation. You have to serve yourself so you can be of service to others. You have to look after yourself so you can look after others. And this could be as a parent, as a colleague. You have to look after yourself so you can help others. And it's the direction of chi energy. It's the flow of life coming through you first, nourishing yourself first, not so you keep it selfish. No, so it flows. You can't hold on to chi. You can't hold on to it. It has to come through you first so you can help others. And this is the basic misunderstanding, that part of your mind that I call the inner child is looking at it the other way. They're saying, no, it has to come from others towards me. So I have to please them or service them so they help me. No, you service you so you can help them. You don't need anything back from them. And then if they do give you something, hey, that's the bonus. That's the cherry on top of the cake. But you've already looked after yourself first. And whether you're a parent, a mother, a father, you look after yourself first. So your ability to look after your child is improved. So when the child comes and they're in a bad mood or they're playing up, you're in the right position to deal with that. And that's the same with your inner child.
So that deals with the idea of it's okay to put myself first. It's okay to love myself. It's okay to respect myself first and foremost, and then respect and love other people.
But you're the well.
Yeah.
The Taoist teaching on this is the well that never runs dry. That you're connected to the universe. And if your well is healthy and clean and the water's fresh, then you can give water to the whole village and you keep on replenishing the water because the water is pure and fresh and can nourish everyone else. But to do that, your well has to be absolutely pristine and the water is fresh. Then you can serve the village. So it's about you looking after your energy source, making sure that you're connected to the source. So the water comes flowing through you, and it's always water in Taoism, if you noticed, but the water comes through you, and then everybody can come and drink at your well, and you'll never run dry. The well that never runs dry. And that's how you should think about it.
And that is beautiful, and I accept that. And
Don't give me a
it makes
but.
sense. But putting it into practice, so not giving in practice, a lot of people, myself included, then stumble at the final hurdle, which is I don't like the awkwardness, the uncomfortableness, the potential negative fallout of holding my ground, holding my boundaries, standing up for myself when actually some people would rather I give in. So I buy into this idea that I ought to do it, and it's a disservice to myself, and I'm dishonoring myself when I don't. But putting it into practice is really hard, David.
But it's only difficult, Alex, because what you're doing there is promoting your emotions. You said, I don't like the uncomfortable feeling. So use my well analogy. It's a good analogy. So you have a well here full of pure water. You can you can keep your village healthy, no illness. They can come and draw your water whenever they want to because it's endless. It's absolutely connected to the universe. Then somebody wants to come along and pollute your well. And what you're saying is, well, I'm going to create uncomfortableness, so let them pollute my well. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you say, no, stop? You're not going to throw pollution into my well. Not only is it not good for me, it's not good for the rest of the universe, for the rest of the village. No. And you have to put the priority. My priority is not that they're going to end in an argument. I really don't care if it ends in an argument. But one thing I'm absolutely sure, they're not going to pollute my well.
Yeah.
Because it's no good for me and it's no good for others. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to promote my emotions that I just feel a bit uncomfortable or I don't like an argument. So therefore, because I'm uncomfortable or I don't like an argument, yes, you can pollute my well. That doesn't make sense to me. And so this is why I think you have to look at the life lesson is what is the most important for you? Using my analogy of the well, keeping this water, keeping this chi energy pure and absolutely vibrant so it serves everybody is the most important thing for me. And if one person doesn't like it, well, I'm sorry, that's tough. And if it means we're going to have an argument, when we're going to have an argument. But the one thing that will override it and the life lesson is the water in this well stays pure because there's children out there need this water for a healthy life. So I'm not going to let you randomly come along and throw pollution down in my well. It doesn't matter how much we argue, how much you're upset, how much you fall out with me. It's not going to happen on my watch. I don't care. And that is my priority. And that's what I would call a life lesson. And that's the life lesson I would want you to take away from this video. It is your responsibility to nurture yourself. It is your responsibility to keep your energy pure and to allow it to flow out. And that's what you have to do. Nobody else can do that for you. Nobody else can step in and do it. You have to do it.
And I would imagine, David, once we start getting our mindset crystal clear like that, once we start prioritizing our way in a way that is not selfish, is very authentic. Once we're super clear on that, it will change our vibration. Absolutely. And people will see that. And so the people in the past who may have tried to push us into things we don't want to do, take advantage of us, expect too much of us, kick up a fight when we stand up for ourselves, they'll notice that. And yes, you may get some resistance, but very soon they will stop because they'll see you as a person who is not to be pushed around, who doesn't give in, who has very strong integrity about themselves and what they want, and is very self-assured person.
And that's right, Alex. So I do not believe allowing somebody to pollute the well is selfish. Do you?
No.
No, I don't think that thing. Now, if I stop that person polluting my well, that person may not like me. Is that more important than the pollution of the water? I would say no. And so this is what a lot of my clients will say to me. But if I stand up for myself, I may lose my friends. And you know what I say? Good, because they were never friends. They cannot be friends if what they want to do is just to ride roughshod over you, to impose their beliefs, to come and poison your well. They're not friends. I don't know what they are, but they're certainly not friends. And I would say you'd be better with them out of your life. I do not want that person keep coming with pollution to pollute my well. And yes, I have to stand up to them once or twice. And then you're absolutely right, Alex. They may then say, let me go and pollute somebody else's well. Good. Let them go and pollute somebody else's well. But they're not polluting my well. And if that means that they're not coming to me, then they're not coming to me because I do not want that toxic person in my life. I don't. And I have to stand up for myself and I have to make sure that my water is good and pure because I want to serve the village. And that's why that's my job. And that's how I would see it. And I would not put somebody toxic over that.
Thank you, David. Well, we've done so many more teachings on the topics of holding boundaries, standing up for yourself, and also this concept of self-love and how the chi energy always must flow through you first before it flows out to others. I will put links in the show notes to those related teachings to help you with this subject. I hope you have enjoyed this teaching. If you have, please let us know and perhaps share it with someone else who you think may also benefit. David works every week with clients all over the world by Zoom video call on exactly these sorts of issues. If you'd like to learn more about David's one-to-one consultations, I will put a link about those in the show notes as well. And finally, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We produce new teachings every week, and we would love to share your journey with you. Bye-bye.